Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zuber, one Ritzel at a time. We are back with TV star, top 1% agent, and lovely mother to Corbin, who is just off camera, so you may hear her occasionally. So that is awesome. How you doing, Laura?
I'm doing wonderful. How about you?
I'm doing great. So we saved episode number 3 of our conversations for your favorite house. At least that's what a little birdie told me.
Yeah.
The lemon versus lemonade episode just aired yesterday. So tell us why this episode is so important to you.
Oh my gosh. Well, I think it's probably our best win from coming way far behind. So what I mean by that is I don't think the show touched too much on how we actually obtained the property, but it was 100% a complete mistake. And why it was a mistake is because it's a 2-1, a 2-bedroom is hard to sell, a 1-bathroom is hard to sell. But the biggest thing and the biggest no-no why anyone would ever buy this house is that anyone is familiar with Arizona, it is literally on McClintock. McClintock is not just a busy road, it is like, it might as well be a freeway. Wow. It is constantly. So this house was incredibly close to Arizona State University's main campus in Tempe, Arizona. And if you have anything that's on Mill Avenue, rural, McClintock, like you're talking nonstop traffic, buses, kids walking, skateboarding, biking, students, homeless people, like you are talking a full,
wow,
crazy, nonstop, all hours of the day street.
Okay.
So if you're buying a house that's on that street, you can imagine you've got, the kids walking to class at 6 o'clock in the morning, biking by, all the way to, people drunk going to get a tattoo down the street and a burger after a party at 3 a.m. Like it's just crazy. That's just like it's true city living right there, and that's one of the things that's like, no matter where you are in Tempe, even if you're not on a busy street, it's just
So I want to go back to the word mistake. So again, I admitted I haven't seen the episode yet. Saturdays are tough, so I catch up during the week. So when you say a mistake, was it like a communication mistake between the team and price points? Or okay.
It was supposed to be a property that was sold, and it wasn't sold, and it was accidentally purchased. It was supposed to be something that was wholesale off, and it wasn't. So
okay, so you start behind, like you said, right? Okay, well we got to eat this one.
So like we thought it was going to be like turn lemons into lemonade, because this property is actually on Lemon Street.
Okay.
So when we got there, obviously, we've been to the property before cameras are rolling, but we discovered a pad in the back where it ended up being kind of perfect, and we were able to pull permit and extend the house to actually have 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms, which was really nice. But this one turned into my favorite, not just because it was like a true underdog story, or being able to turn something that was a mistake into something that was actually okay. It was just beautifully done. It turned out so cool, from the sandblasted block to the garden in the backyard. We even placed a lemon tree perfectly out the kitchen window.
Nice.
There's just so much about it that turned out so beautiful. It is such a cool house, but I don't need to wax poetic about what a beautiful home it is. That's our job, is to make it beautiful. The thing that I thought might be interesting to talk about is the how we ended up selling it. So we went on the market. We had 3 cash offers at $450. And so we were originally thinking, oh, we'll list for $380. From what was happening, we ended up going up at $424.9. So essentially call it 4.25. We were at $425.
Okay.
Within an hour, we had people crawling all over it.
Oh, wow.
Which was crazy because the market was slowing down at that point.
So this is probably May, June.
No, it was later than that.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So we
really
had
slowing
people
down
all over it. And we were just thinking, so we listed August 10th.
Oh, wow. August. Wow. Okay.
So things were definitely slow.
Oh yeah. I remember we had an episode where you're like, I don't know what's going on. Where did everybody go? I remember that episode.
Yes.
I had 15 buyers. Now I have 3. I remember that episode. Yeah.
Yeah. So we came out of this gate and with a reaction that honestly I didn't expect.
Okay.
And so by hour 4, we had a buyer who needed to do a 1031 exchange. They had, I think, 3 or 4 more days left to identify a property. And they came in at 450 and we won it. Great, perfect. By hour 10, we had 2 more, another 1031 exchange and another one just full cash.
Wow.
And so here's the lesson that I think we should all learn is what it's about to come up here, because this didn't make it on the show. So that night, rather than taking that first person, which is who we should have taken their offer, we sat down as a team, the 4 of us, and we decided that it would be best if we did a multiple counter to these 3 people.
Okay.
Because we thought, hey, we have essentially the same offer. All these people really want it. Let's do a multiple counter.
Okay.
This took the first people who had 3 or 4 days left. They were so offended to like the level where the agent essentially told me to kindly kick rocks in some other words.
Yeah.
And I to be honest, I was blown away that we got this level of emotional response from these 3 people, because if you want to leave your offer the same, just say we're going to leave it the same. And that's fine. You don't need to like get upset and walk. That's what happened to all 3 of those people. They all got so upset and so offended that they walked.
All 3.
All 3. And so this is like one of the things that we just like kicked our own butts for like a month. Like, why did we like, it was like one of those things where it's like, it was such a good, all of those were good. Just take one and like, let's move on. So the first person, we should have just taken his offer immediately and just moved on with our lives. We would have been closed and, super quick. Obviously not as quick as a cash deal because you have to deal with, 1031 accounts, but not that long.
No, not that long. Yeah.
And we would have been done. And instead we did something that in most cases you would think that's smart. But then also it's like, okay, you're getting greedy here.
Yeah. And the market was slowing down.
Just take it and move on. So this one's really funky. I actually got an email about it, like, why did this happen and stuff. So what's funny is that people don't show this, but the show has about 45 people behind the scenes that are working on it. Yeah. And they go to the property and shoot what they call beauty shots, where they do, the slow and the drone and focus in on some cool details and stuff. And, about 5 seconds of that makes it. Unfortunately, but they went by to shoot beauties, and the team bought In-N-Out. Y'all love In-N-Out, right?
Yeah, of course.
And then somehow it got put in, that for so many people. Like, think about how many people you have to order In-N-Out for.
Sure.
It got shoved into bags and shoved under the sink.
Ooh, yeah. And
so now we're like, we have all those great offers. Those people are gone. And we're trying to sell the house, and now we have a situation where our house smells like a rotten French fry. And so
funny.
When we started getting feedback for that, Rahima was like, we have like, our house is smelly and we've got trash. And so I book it over there, clean it up, haul all this trash out, and she goes, just take it off the market right now. And I don't know what the reasoning behind that was, but the good news is we are officially closed. We closed to someone who, they ended up getting a conventional loan, but we just closed. We just closed a couple days ago, closed on October 15th. And so and we closed for 4:30. We didn't close for 4:50. But that just goes to show you, like, real life, like, as savvy as we all are, and as much, I think we ended up tallying up our real estate experience because the show made us do that. But we have over like 50 years of experience, like 58 years combined. And even we made a dumb mistake where we're like,
when would you have closed if you'd have taken the first offer? Probably sometime in September?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you had early September, like September 1st or 2nd, like,
yeah. So extra 6 weeks of holding costs and
and then $20,000 less than what we thought. And you know what? If any of those 3 buyers or their agents are watching this, we made a mistake, and like, obviously,
my bad.
And you know what? It cost us $30,000, and you know, as it should have probably. But that's one of those things where it's like, you know what? If you've got something good, just take it and move on.
Yeah.
There is no need to like push it. You should and you shouldn't.
I want to talk about adding that master suite, because that's you know, for me, there are markets in our houses where you just have to do it, and a 2-1 is probably one of those houses.
Yeah.
But you know, getting permits and drawings and all of that is it's not an easy process in the world of COVID. I mean, did that take longer than normal, or is Phoenix pretty open and it was pretty quick?
So it depends on the city that you're in, and obviously we're dealing with the city of Tempe. City of Phoenix, in my opinion, is probably the easiest, and maybe that's because we've had to work with them so much, because city of Phoenix, like Phoenix proper, is like, everyone's like, oh well, area, but no, like the actual amount of zip codes that are technically Phoenix are a ton.
Right.
And so we've worked with city of Phoenix the most, just based on how much like actual land area Phoenix itself, the city, actually covers. Tempe's fine. What was cool about this is there was already like existing things started, not from us, but from a previous owner.
Right.
And so we were able to kind of utilize some of that. And
are you talking like pad, and when you say already started, meaning the drawings, or what you mean? Okay. Oh, I got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we were able to get it done, I think, in 4 weeks.
Oh, that's not bad.
Like record time.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things too, is like, you have to do that, but doesn't mean flippers always pull permits. Sometimes they do things, but for the show, like, absolutely not. Like A&E, like, there's just no way. So if we wanted to do something like this, it's all permitted,
as it should be.
Exactly, as it should be, of course. But it's just one of those things where it's like, there might be a home flipper who's watching this, and I mean, for an addition like this, yeah, absolutely, everyone's probably pulling permits and stuff. But if we were to add or enclose a carport into a garage for the show, we pull permit too. If we were gonna, you know, like, everything has to be like done exactly the way it should be for the show. Whereas like another home flipper might be like, well, I'm taking on a wall, not pulling a permit. For the show, you have to, you know,
of course, liability and doing it the right way all the time. So Laura, that's a great story. Lots of lessons. I love the show because it's real. I love the show because you do sometimes it's really quick. You really got to pay attention. You look at these two things in both properties. You always make a profit from, right? One is wholesaled or sold to some other investor. You're doing real numbers. They are buried in, which is awesome. So, and you're giving lessons. So I applaud the team for, you know, the 5 or 6 episodes I've seen. So how many episodes are there in the first year? 10, 12?
There's 10.
10. Okay. Very cool. So we're about halfway through.
Yeah, I can't even believe that many have come out. It's super, and it's actually really weird to watch yourself. So it's quite the experience. But yeah, we're almost halfway done, and it's been really fun, and it's been cool to see, you know, what makes it and what doesn't make it. It's just interesting, to say the least. But this one was a great one, and you know, again, the show is real life, but how this one ended up playing out once, you know, the episode was locked, in my opinion, is even more interesting than the episode itself. So. Very cool. Very cool. And do you know what episode is next Saturday? Do you know by chance? Oh my gosh, I don't even, I'm truly surprised. I'm like, oh, okay. Like I remember that one. That's the thing. Okay. I mean, if someone hasn't watched any of our other episodes that you and I have done regarding the show, I have not seen any scenes,
They don't show you, yeah.
Anything. I have no idea. So I'm truly just as surprised as everyone else once this comes out.
Very cool. Well, thank you for all you do. Thank you for this time on Sunday. Have a wonderful week. Okay.
Thank you. You too.
All right.